Hey loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be sharing my secrets on how I was able to gain 10,000 followers within a month. This video is going to be very raw and I'm kind of going to just do a rapid fire. I'm going to tell you guys everything you want to know, everything you need to know, and everything you should be doing in order to achieve your goals. I'm going to lay it out for you, and I'm also going to go into specific categories. The first category is going to be talking about everything that applies to TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And then I'm going to go into Instagram and tell you everything you need to know about that. I'm gonna go into TikTok as well as YouTube, and I'm going to be telling you guys what has worked for me. So let's get into this video. First things first, you need to put your head down, you need to grind, you need to be consistent. I know everyone tells you, be consistent, but the best way to be consistent is to just do it. You need to stop caring about the likes, you need to stop caring about the views, because if we're being honest, when you first start, nobody's gonna watch your stuff like that. People aren't gonna be liking, people aren't gonna be commenting, and you guys need to stop expecting everyone you know to be so involved in your content. When you're being consistent, you will eventually find your community. So just take a step back, breathe, and just do it. Put your head down and grind for like 6 months. Being consistent doesn't just look like being consistent for 2 weeks and then you stop and then you start and then you stop. That's a lot of people's problems. You stop and you start and you stop and you start. That's not being consistent. Be consistent, put your head down for at least 6 weeks and then see what happens. Next, we're gonna talk about how much you should post. I feel like I'm talking so fast because I'm trying to get my point across. But when it comes to TikTok, what I did is I posted twice a week. And because my Monday through Friday was so busy and I was in school at that point, I would record 14 videos on Saturday and Sunday. So I think posting twice a day on TikTok is great. One in the morning or afternoonish and one at night. On YouTube, I think twice a week is good. If you're really trying to be on it, I think 3 times is amazing. But realistically, I think twice a week is good. And I even think if you're still being consistent on YouTube and you're posting a really good quality video, once a week is good. And on Instagram, I always say 3 times a week is good, just because you want to give time for people to miss you as well as still being consistent. So I think if you're posting like Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, that's perfect for Instagram. So the next thing is you need to be known for something. When it comes to being a content creator, something that really works now is that like their niche is being known for something. There are beautiful women in this content world that are known for reviewing products that work on dark skin, or they're known for reviewing products that work on sensitive skin. Like, you need to be known for something more than just creating content. Now, I don't want you guys to niche yourself too much, but I do want you to have something you're known for. And I feel like you need to figure that out. Figure out what your why is and then go into that. But be known for something. And if you could be known for something that helps, that's even more beneficial, and also you'll become more marketable. Because what a lot of people don't know, and a lot of aspiring content creators don't know, is just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you're gonna get brand deals, doesn't mean you're gonna get sponsorships. It doesn't mean anything. What gets you those brand deals and those sponsorships is being marketable. And when you're known for something, especially when it helps people, not only are you gonna build a community and a following, but you're also going to be helping people. And out of everything that I'm talking about in this video, that's what I want you guys to get the most, as well as being consistent. Like, do this because you actually want to help. Do this because it's a passion. Don't do this because you just want to gain followers, because just because you have 500,000 followers, then what? The next thing I'm going to talk about is really invest your time in trying to make your content better. So many people are trying to be content creators now. You need to not only separate yourself from the rest, but one thing that will separate yourself from the rest is investing your time into trying to make your content better. Invest in editing. Get good at a skill. Get good at something. Because a lot of times I see a lot of people make content and they're just like piecing clips together and they're just like, here you go. And it's like, really invest. Like, focus on the text, focus on the layout, focus on the angles. One thing that's really big now is I feel like making stuff look kind of cinematic. I feel like that really captures your attention, because it's like, whoa, not everyone can do that. Really focus on the quality of your content. Take your time. A lot of you guys want to be content creators, but when it comes to actually taking your time to invest in a skill set, you guys kind of get lazy and it's like, nah, I don't really care about that. And it's like, all your videos don't have to be like that. But when you're able to really take your time and invest in that, brands notice that. And not only do brands notice that, your followers notice that too. And then you become unique, and that makes them want to follow you even more. The next thing I'm going to talk about is make sure your lighting is good. Lighting is so important. In this video, the lighting is good. And it's because a lot of times when I take content, the window is here and I'm always facing towards it. That's like a key thing that I notice. When your video can be so good, but if the lighting is not good, I really don't think the algorithm pushes it out. And I feel like people are so picky when it comes to content that they see bad lighting and they're like, boop, even though it could have been like an amazing video that could have helped them out. So focus on lighting. Lighting is key. The last thing I'm going to talk about before I start getting into Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube is make sure when you're doing vlog-like videos, you have short clips, very short clips, like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. People have the attention span of a pea now. And if your first clip is 10 seconds, guys, they're probably gonna swipe. Which is why I go into invest your time in learning a skill set and getting better with editing, because when you do, it's easier to do stuff like that. You're able to catch it more because you know how to edit better. You know what clips go within the certain time frame, the angles. Like, make sure you're switching it up. You go from here and then you're shooting from here and then it's a close-up shot and then you clip it, like, you know what I'm saying? So make sure the clips, you kind of have to keep the ball rolling, which means you have to put in more work. You can't just shoot a shot and then it's like, that's it. So keep that in mind. Those are just my rapid fire tips of things in general with all social media platforms that I think you should follow. And so now we're gonna go into TikTok and what you can do in order to gain 10,000 followers in a month. Okay, so now we're talking about TikTok. The first thing I wanna talk about with TikTok is you need to show your personality. TikTok has changed so much and people want to know who you are. People want to see who you are. The more you show, the more people stay with TikTok, because TikTok is a platform where at one point when you're really on and you gain 300,000 followers, people love you. Say you stop being consistent and you go back, people don't care about you anymore. But if you showed your personality, people will stay. So make sure you're showing your personality. You're more likely to gain followers when you're being authentic and you're showing your personality. Next thing you need to do, you need to talk. You can show your personality without talking, but if you're trying to be a part of an influencer agency, you're trying to gain a lot of followers, you need to talk. You have to talk in your videos. A lot of requirements that these influencer agencies have is you have to talk, because people need to know who you are. The more you talk, the better. Talk. You'll be more marketable when you talk. And not only do you need to talk, you should talk about things that spark people's interest. Be very intentional with what you talk about. Like I said, you want to be known for something, especially something that helps. But another thing that you should do is talk about subjects that make sense. How to gain 10,000 followers in not 10 months, in a month. People want to know about that. Things I wish I knew in my 20s. People want to know about that. Another thing that makes a creator a good creator is that they come up with videos and things that people want to know about. One of my special tools is ChatGPT. ChatGPT will give you so many ideas, make it your own, and post about it. The last thing I'm gonna say is don't worry about making money on TikTok. Focus on keeping their attention. A lot of people, you're focused on getting into that creator fund, you're focused on trying to make your videos longer than a minute. When you're just now starting, or you're like still in the process of trying to build a following, let's stick to 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Let's capture their attention first there and work our way up. TikTok, you can make good money from it, but that should not be your main focus. It's not making money like YouTube. So what I will say is build that community, show your personality, talk about stuff that people want to hear about. I promise you, if you're being consistent with that, you will start building a following. And one thing I want to say too is experiment. With TikTok, you have to experiment. When something pops off, stick with it, but make sure that's not the only thing you do, because then you get stuck. But if you follow these tips, you will gain a following on TikTok. So now let's get into Instagram. Next, we're gonna talk about Instagram. Like I said, you need to be consistent, but what do you need to be consistent with on Instagram? Reels. If you wanna gain a following and a following fast on Instagram, you need to post Reels 3 times a week. I feel like pictures, they're hit or miss. One thing I'm noticing about Instagram's algorithm, because I feel like it changed a lot, especially over the years, is the more consistent you are, the more Instagram will reward you. I feel like YouTube's the same as well. I've noticed a couple of people that I follow on Instagram, they were super consistent a month ago and their videos were just missing. People weren't liking, people weren't commenting, people weren't sharing, but they just kept posting and now their videos are doing amazing. And it's not even the quality. It's just the fact that they were consistent. So I feel like the biggest thing on Instagram is posting reels 3 times a week and be consistent with posting reels. Now, when it comes to your reels, you need to make sure that the cover photo captures my attention. And I always recommend putting text. I don't know what this video is about, so let me know within the first 2 seconds. So I either decide to stay or I don't. Because if I don't know you, I'm probably not gonna stay. A lot of times when we see a familiar face, which is why a lot of brands work with celebrities and influencers, we're more inclined or we're more likely to be like, oh, let me see what they're doing. If I don't know you, I need to know what you're talking about, what you're doing, so put text on your cover photo as well as within the first 2 seconds of the video. Also, something new that Instagram incorporated is they allow you to use polls. Use that, it helps with engagement. It helps with people wanting to interact with your videos, your reels, and I don't know if you can do it for photos, but definitely with reels, use polls. And also in the caption, write questions like, what's something that helped you out when you were going through a time like this? Like, do something like that. I feel like the polls really help with engagement. And something else that really helps with engagement is writing long captions. That's something I don't really do, but whenever I write a long caption or just something that's like really authentic and meaningful to me, or something I've noticed with other people, I feel like people really like that now. People want the old Instagram back, and I feel like when you bring that authenticity back to Instagram, people really do enjoy it. The last thing I'm gonna talk about when it comes to Instagram is, I don't know what it's called, but I don't know how many followers you need for it too, but there's a link in a bio that I noticed some people have where your followers can join your community. And then what you can do is post anytime you have like a new YouTube video, TikTok, or Instagram post, reel, whatever it is, you post it in a chat and people will respond. If you know what that's called in the comment section, please put that down below. But that's something that I feel like is a game changer. I need to do that. I need to figure out how to do that like today. Because you're building a community, and not only are you building a community, you're keeping them updated as soon as you post. So those people that are like really heavy supporters of you, the fact that they even join that means that they really enjoy their content and they enjoy you. They're gonna like, they're gonna comment, they're gonna know when things get pushed out, because sometimes Instagram be playing. Instagram's algorithm, I get it, guys, trust me, I get it. Even with the followers I have, I get it. But make sure you do that, because I feel like that's super beneficial, even if you only have 2 people. 2 people is better than none. Now we're going into YouTube. Now, if you guys don't know, I have a bigger following on Instagram and TikTok, but I have been pretty consistent on YouTube and have done a lot of research. So I feel like I am learning. And so in this category, I'm kind of just going to be sharing what I feel like works for me and what is working. So just so you guys know that, so you're not looking and like, this girl only has 5,000 subscribers, but you know, I'm in the process of growing. So if you're watching this video, we can grow together. One thing that's super important when it comes to YouTube is the first minute. That first minute, you need to capture my attention. You need to have a hook. You need to really edit. Be very intentional when it comes to your editing skills the first minute of the video. Because if the first minute is super captivating and then the rest you talk, I mean, I still stay for the minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure your whole video is captivating, but especially that first minute, you need to grab my attention. You have to. That's something I'm realizing. When I'm just talking and I'm like this, unless it's like a really specific topic that I really want to know, research, or information on, I'm not going to stay. You need to captivate me in the first minute. Next, when it comes to YouTube, you need to have a lot of clips. I used to think that if I just talked in the camera, that was it, which you could do, and some videos like that do really well, but if you really want to grow on YouTube, especially faster than normal, you need to have a lot of little clips. But make sure that you're switching clips so that It's kind of like, I feel like when you have a YouTube channel that's kind of like watching a TV show, people are more likely to stay. Another thing I want to say too is get to the point. I feel like in the beginnings, you guys have your intros and it's like, take those intros out. We don't need those intros anymore. I took mine out. A lot of times with my YouTube videos, I have a hook or I'll do like different clips with a hook. And then I get into the, hey loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I get into what I'm talking about. I feel like a lot of times when you're just like, hey loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this video. I haven't taken content in like, get to the point. We want to know what we're clicking because of the title. The last thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to YouTube is thumbnails are so important. That's something I noticed for me as a viewer. If I've never seen your channel, I need that thumbnail to capture my attention. So that's something that I've been really working on. I use Canva. I have Canva Pro and I feel like it's completely worth it. And really focus on working on your thumbnail. What I do is I try different thumbnails and I see which one captures my attention the most. I'll even send it to people and I'll ask like, which one captures your attention the most? Because thumbnails are very important. It's like a book cover. Also, titles are important. Be specific with your titles. Something I also do too is I go on ChatGPT and I'll be like, I'll type in a prompt and I'll be like, this is what my YouTube video is about. Create the most engaging title that will get pushed out on YouTube's algorithm. Use ChatGPT to your advantage. So those are tips that I would give when it comes to YouTube. In general, you do have to try and figure out what works best for you. But as long as you're following these tips, you're being consistent and you're being authentic to yourself, I promise you guys will gain a following. Regardless if it's in 2 weeks, a month, or even a year, you should be proud of just trying and being consistent and following your dreams and passions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I really like making videos about this because I understand what it's like to want to do something and not really know the ways or how to do it. But the biggest thing you can do is just do it. A lot of us, we didn't know what we were doing. We just tried. Eventually it will work out. So just believe in yourself, you got this. And if you're watching this video, I'm proud of you. And stay tuned for my next video, guys.